Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of In the End, There's Always a Disney Guy. But before we even get into today's episode, make sure you subscribe to this podcast. And yeah, you guys already know what to do. Welcome back. Welcome back. So today we're gonna actually be talking about you guys already know I love PlayStation games. I mean, who like doesn't love PlayStation games? So, well, I'm not gonna say that for everybody because I know a lot of people love Xbox games and stuff like that, but I'm like a huge PlayStation person. So if you guys don't know um about choice, I don't know if you guys know about these type of games, like choice-based games. Let me give you some examples. Like have you guys heard of The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, or Beyond Two Souls, or Detroit Become Human? I talked about that one before. Um, but there are many choice-based games. Oh my gosh. And you guys, one thing about me is I'm so deep in games. Like, you guys don't realize it, especially choice-based games, because you have to make really hard decisions, and that can impact the story of your game. And one thing about me is I'm a very emotional person when it comes up to those type of games. Like, my feelings kind of get in the way of the choices I choose. Like, for example, with The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. If you don't know what that one is, basically it's about a girl. Well, let's start with the first one. The Walking Dead is basically about a girl, Clementine, who parents died unfortunately, didn't come back home. And uh so this man, Lee, found her, and they over time became like really great friends, and he took care of her as if she was her as if he was as if she was his daughter, basically. And it was such an emotional game. It was very good. I love that game so much. Um but it's just sad because those type of games for me, they make me emotional, and the reason why is because, well, I wouldn't say emotional, but they get me in my feelings when it comes up to choosing decisions, because sometimes you have to make really hard decisions in the game, and it really messes with me. I don't know why, but it does, though. You guys know what I mean? But it's 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 all based on the choices you choose. The story is dictated based off of your choices. You have to choose the right ones, or your, game, wherever you decide to go, you never may know. You never know what the outcome is. And that's what I love about choice-based games. Like, they're the best type of games. Like, they get on your emotional side. They really get to you, and that's what I love about choice-based games. Now, everybody remembers the game Detroit Become Human. It was a game about androids basically wanting freedom. Um and they did the exact same thing African Americans did. What do you want to do? What do you have to do when you want to get freedom? You have to what? You have to march and protest and do stuff like that. Basically, it's basically, how do I explain it? Detroit Become Human is basically a version of racism, just in a game. And it's a different topic. It's about androids. Or robots, I should say, basically. Robots wanting freedom. It's basically the same thing, two different, categories, though. So it's definitely a good game. Like I said, definitely a lot of hard choices that you have to make in that game. Um, but it's definitely a really good game, and I definitely enjoyed it. Very emotional too. You have Heavy Rain. Oh my gosh, you guys. Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was a good one. Not even gonna lie to you. Heavy Rain was definitely a good one. Um, that was a very deep uh that was a very deep game, basically about a father who loses his son, and like, he does everything he can to retrieve, he has to do whatever he can to retrieve his son. And he doesn't, depending on the choices you make, he doesn't stop at all costs. It's all about the choices that you make. And that's what I love about choice-based games. Like, you get to decide um that person's fate. I love that about a choice-based game. It's honestly, it's something about those games that just gets me shook into my core. And I hope they make so many more, because it's like, those are like I said, Detroit Become Human was probably one of the best freaking games ever, though. But there are many other best freaking games. Like, it's not just Detroit Become Human, but there are many others. Then you have what's the name of that other one? Beyond Two Souls. Beyond Two Souls, basically about a girl who was born with a gift. This gift comes from the loss of her twin brother. Oh, that was a really good one. That was like, oh, that was a really really good one. Very emotional. Definitely based off the choices that you make. Um, like I said, these games are probably like the best to play because they do, get on your they do get on your emotional side a lot, especially for me in those type of games. That's why it's hard for me to play them because it's like so emotional. Like you just it's so many emotions in these games. Like I don't think you guys realize that. Um but there are so many choice-based games. Altogether, a choice-based game is basically games that involve you making difficult choices, and those choices definitely um interact within the future of the game. Now, if you guys aren't like huge choice-based game fans, or if you guys don't play choice-based games, you're probably not going to know what I'm talking about. But choice-based games are the best, and I definitely advise you into buying them because there are so many. There's, like I said, there's Detroit Become Human. Now some of these may be a little inappropriate for a certain age. I would say probably like 14, 15 and up. But it is definitely, and those are probably, like I said, these games are so, or play on your emotions because it feels like you're in the game with them, especially in The Walking Dead. Oh my gosh, it feels like you're in the game with the characters and you have to make these hard choices. And that's what I just love about it. It's so emotion driven. And I don't know about you guys, like I said, but choice-based games, I have like 50 choice-based games on my PlayStation. It's ridiculous. Like, let me see, best choice-based games, PS4. There are so many. The Last of Us really isn't choice-based. Oh, Until Dawn. Oh man. Ooh, that was a good one. Not even gonna lie to you. Yep, they got Detroit Become Human on here. Shoot. If Detroit Become Human is so high priced, the reason is because it's an amazing game. Like I don't think people really realize um I don't think people really realize why these games are so high. But the reason why they're so high is because one, like I said, these games are they're just too good. They're too good to be true. And Detroit Become Human is one of those games. Like it's too good to be true. And I think people don't realize that. Um that's why I say, with this game, oh, it just makes me emotional just thinking about it because it's that good of a game. Like I don't think people realize how good of a game this one is. Like, but I thank you guys for listening, and I highly encourage you guys to get a choice based game. It is the best. Oh, it is the best type of games to play. Like especially when it's raining or when it's snowing. It may be emotional to play, but trust me, it is gonna be worth your while, you guys. I promise you. Like I absolutely promise you guys, it will be worth your while. Um, But thank you guys for listening in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Um, but yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to this podcast. And yeah, bye bye, guys.